What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 8 of Sharpen Your Sword podcast. I have a special guest from the North Pole today. I want to start off by saying thank you guys for supporting me, sharing, liking, commenting, talking to friends and family about this podcast. I really appreciate it. It helps us out more than you can imagine. So I really thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And like always, our biggest goal is to offer you value, give you value so you can get something out of this podcast, okay? It's business. It's about sharpening the sword. Sharpening the sword is mentally and physical, okay? How to get more sharper mentally and how to get more sharper physically, okay? And that's what we like to talk about. And like I said, we have a special guest today on episode 8, one of my good friends from the North Pole, Santa Claus.
Oh.
What's up, Santa? How you doing?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. You know, of course, this time of the year, it's going to be starting to get very busy.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine.
Oh, yes.
It's a busy season.
Yes, it is.
So tell us a little bit about the North Pole, Santa.
Oh, well, we do a lot of toy making up there. That's for sure. But it's more so of what happens away from the North Pole. All these little kids that I run into, the requests that they have and so on, that's where it's a little bit more special to me, seeing these children, because it's more than just getting a request. I mean, sometimes it's pretty interesting to see what some of the children have as a request that they want to ask Santa for. Some of them coming in requesting for prayers and so on.
Yeah, I can only imagine how many faces you see and all the people that you see every season. You know, I know you've told me a lot of stories.
Oh yeah,
a lot of crazy things that happen, a lot of miracles, a lot of good things from God that have happened, and we're gonna get into all of that today. But before we get into more of this, we're gonna talk about how we met, and I'm gonna let you say this story because I remember that day like yesterday, because it was when I first opened up the gym, and we were doing like a pre-sale in December. And I remember I was so stressed out. And I wanted to do something to attract people. And I wanted to do something special, different than everybody else. And I was so stressing out. And then all of a sudden, I see your picture. And I thought to myself, how cool would that be? And I got your number and I talked to you and you're like, let's do it. But I'm going to let you, you always bring it up. I'm going to let you explain what happened.
Yeah, that was, I remember that was pretty much like it was yesterday, because I remember you got a hold of the marketing manager, and the marketing manager said to get a hold of Santa because we have no control of what he does. And, the Santa thing is, God covers my expenses and stuff and whatnot, but it's really hard for me and sometimes to take money for doing something I know that God has called me to do, this Santa stuff. And I remember you asked me what my price would be. I said, are you sitting down? And then I said, but I'll tell you what. I said, I'll do a favor for you if you do one for me. At that time, my grandson was getting ready to come into town, and I said, how about I'll come over, do whatever you want, and some pictures of Santa. Maybe you just hang out with Cameron when he comes into town and show him a few things. And so that's when our relationship started. And look what has happened, how it's blossomed over the years. Sure has.
I'm sure both of us can agree that neither one of us thought 5 years later this is where we would be. We're sitting on a podcast, talking to each other. Over the last 5 years, we've been in touch. We've done crazy things. We've come up with good ideas. We've seen a lot of things. We've seen a lot of what you've done. And you've been in my academy. Now you're in our furniture store. You participated a lot. And you participate a lot in this town, too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy when I first saw your picture and it was a light bulb that went off. I'm like, man, it's Christmas time. I think this will be great. Make a Facebook post and invite everybody. And that's exactly what I did. And I remember when I called you and my first question was like, hey, are you free? And you're like, yeah, I'll make time. And we had donuts, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
We had donuts, coffee, and orange juice. And my question was like, what is this going to cost? Because I know it can cost some money, And you're like, man, I don't want nothing from you. The only thing I would like is if you can train my grandson. He's coming to town. If you can hang out with him and train with him. And I remember Cameron came into town, and we had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
I showed him all these different moves. We did jiu-jitsu. We did kickboxing together. And I still have the pictures, actually. And we just hung out and had fun, and that was it. And then the year after that, we've got together and did pictures at the academy. And the year after that, we did pictures at the academy. And now you're doing pictures at the academy, and now you're set up in our furniture store.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For the second year in a row.
It's crazy for the second year in a row. It's just, to me, like from a business aspect, you know, because at the end of the day, that was networking. So for the people watching, you know, like you never know who you can meet and when you can meet them and how you can meet them, right? And you've been saying this all this season. Who's your marketing director?
Ah, God.
You know? And so sometimes things are a sign, or sometimes things are sent to you for a reason. And we've been talking about that over the last few years because of the things that you've seen, right? And helping kids and coaching kids and working business. You see a lot of things. And networking is the oxygen line in business. And at the end of the day, yes, you're Santa, but you're still running a business. You have to be able to provide for yourself, and then you're also helping all these people out. You know, you're helping all the kids out. You're helping all these people out that you've met over the years. And so it's crazy how one phone call turned into this.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
We're sitting on the podcast talking to each other.
But you are, it's something this year. There's been so many times things have happened, and I'll just end up going like this.
Yeah.
That's another God thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, to get on a billboard for nothing. I mean, radio airtime.
Yep. This year you're on the billboard and on the radio. That's a big deal.
Two-sided billboard.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, there's traffic jam there every morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's something. I think when you obviously put God in charge, it gets big.
Yeah.
Gets huge
Amen.
for sure.
Oh, yeah. So, my biggest question is, how did you become Santa? Like, I know you're Santa from the North Pole, okay?
Right.
But most of these viewers are adults, okay? Don't tell nobody, guys, but.
No, what about saying?
But, no, it's Santa. I'm not saying he's not Santa.
Oh, okay.
How did he become Santa? Because not anybody can become Santa.
Well, first of all, my definition of a kid, my oldest I ever got a picture with was 103 years old. Youngest, 2.5 days old.
Wow.
So, I don't care what your age is. You could be a kid if you give me the opportunity to spend some time with you. But in 2000, my wife was an assistant administrator at an assistant living place. She calls me up and said, we need Santa this year. I thought you'd make a good one. I thought, never ever thought of something like that because, I'd done some acting before. I'd done some radio broadcasting before and stuff like that, but never ever thought about putting the red suit on. So, of course, I got online and started looking for something I never had no idea on how to find. And so I got me a $100 suit, and that was the start of it. Now here I am in $800 suits, and God just blessing my socks off.
What year was that when you first started?
2000.
So almost 24 years later.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And I will attest to this, guys. Like, I remember we've all seen Santas in malls. We've seen them in stores. We've seen them everywhere, okay? And sometimes you look at a Santa Claus and you're like, man, that ain't Santa Claus. Like, no disrespect, but you see him and you're like, that's not a Santa Claus. You can tell by the way he's dressed, by the way especially the beard, right? The beard is a big one for me. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in Christmas, right? We don't celebrate that, but I still have friends and I still hang out with you, right? But even though that I don't celebrate this and I don't believe in Santa Claus, when I see one, I'm like, that's not Santa Claus, Hey, I can only imagine the ones that believe in Santa Claus, So when I first called you, I saw your pictures. I didn't think that was gonna be you, right? I was like, man, that's an animated picture, or whatever. He got done up for one day event. Like, that's a special, that's the book cover. That's a picture of his book cover right there. I didn't think you were gonna come in looking like a real Santa Claus, you know. And I remember when I saw you, I'm like, bro. I looked at a few people. I'm like, this is legit Santa Claus. Like, I don't believe Santa Claus, but I'm starting to believe it now, you know. And growing up, I liked to watch the movie Elf. And, you know, in the Elf, they talk about the Christmas spirit, and Santa couldn't deliver the gifts because the country didn't have Christmas spirit. So there was no energy to run his sleigh.
Right.
And Santa Claus these days, some of them, you just see them just sitting there moping around on a stool. Next kid, right? And part of being Santa Claus, you have to have the spirit, right? You're seeing all these kids. You're seeing all these adults, right? You're seeing all these people. They are happy to see you. You should be happy to see them, right? And so that was very cool. And I mean, 24 years later, you got it down, you know? But it was very cool to see a real Santa Claus. Like, you have the beard, you have the hair, you know, you have the glasses. And so when I saw him, I was like, this is legit, man. This is legit.
Yeah, it's been amazing because obviously I never take none of the credit for where I am and how I've become. You know, God just has opened up door after door after door, and I just walk through them. Of course, you know, this has turned into a ministry for me when it comes to little children that's dealing with life-threatening issues, cancer and stuff like that. You know, there's memories that I have up here that I wish I didn't have, but God's put them there for a reason. And, you know, people would not imagine what it's like to go to a little 13-year-old's house where hospice is there, where, you know, the facilities have given up on them surviving. And you know, you want to go there thinking that you can make a difference and you can make a change, so on. But there's been many a times at the end of the day, my handkerchief is watered down, you know, from tears and stuff and so on. But hey, God's got me where He wants me to be, no doubt about it. And I mean, believe you me, I could make a phone call and not have to worry about charity, this, that, or whatever. But to me, I'm got to be where I'm at because God wants me here. And like you said, you know, we'll get ready to celebrate our 5th annual Pictures of Santa over there. It's been something else.
It's been crazy, man.
Yes, it has.
5 years. And we've been saying this all season. I mean, I think people forget, man, like, they get caught up in day-to-day life and they forget about the small things, you know? And some small things are bigger to other people, right? Or, well, we say small things, but, like, for me, like, kids are one of the most important things, you know? And giving back, I'm still young, but I've always been around older people, and you always hear giving back is the best thing you can do. You know, no amount of money can make up for you giving back, right? There's no feeling that you get when you give back to people. Money can't fill that feeling that you get from giving to kids, helping people. And so, seeing that, you know, and you saying, like, helping these kids that are having life-threatening things, you know, that's one of my biggest goals is to help those people, you know. And so your business has turned into that, you know, and I'm a man of faith, I believe, you know, but whether you do or not, that's your business. But at the end of the day, I do believe, you know, it says it in my book, it says it in your book. And we've talked about this. When you give, God gives you back more.
Oh, yes.
You know, and so the real secret that a lot of people want to be successful. But we have a saying, like, if your hand is closed as a fist, that means you're not giving. If your hand is open and you're giving, then you're going to get back more. So the secret to success is to give. That's the secret. There's really no big secrets. But the more you give, the more God blesses you. You know, at the end of the day, yes, you need to make money in business. You need to make money being a Santa Claus because you have to make a living one way or another, you know. But before you ask for the money, you have to give part of your time. You have to give part of your heart, you know, and you have to give your time to these people that are looking for it. Because sometimes somebody's down, they see a Santa Claus, everything changes. You know, the kid that was crying now is filled with joy and smiling and happy. So it's cool to see that, you know, and we're going to talk about that on the podcast because a lot of people are watching and stuff. So we went from pictures, normal pictures, you know, at the academy. Now you're inside the furniture store, Mid-South Furniture. And started last year. We started with, I think it was last year. We started with the gifts for the kids.
Yes, the foster children.
The foster children.
Yeah, and needy families. Last year we did 100 plus and something like 5 needy families. This year, probably going to be up to about 500 foster children. It's something that's taken off on its own. Yeah.
You want to explain? Can you explain a little bit about that for the viewers?
Well, what it is, we've got connections with foster parents, so we get their request of their children, what they're wanting, and so then we put it up on the tree, and people come and look at them and take them down. We register it. They go get the gifts. They bring them back. You know, so it's been something. It touches me. Last year, when I see these people bringing in little wagons filled up with toys. I mean, last year, so many times. I mean, I'm looking at that and seeing that happen and knowing that it was because of an idea that someone gave me of something we should do. And that's what it all boils down to. It's who you hang around. Mm-hmm. Because if you hang around the right people, you're going to get great ideas, left and right, and so on, and that's what it's become. I mean, like last year, it was a long drive home, you know, which is a long drive home, period. But when you start thinking about the season and the goodness you did, you can't drive. You got to pull over and get your hanky out. You know? Have a few tears, and then continue on your way. This year will be another time of long drive home. Yeah. But then, believe you me, it's a nice drive because you know you're going home.
Yeah. Santa, I thought you just got on the sleigh, bro.
Giovanni.
Yeah. He had to throw one in there, didn't he? Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, well, we do have a sleigh down on the set.
We do have a sleigh downstairs for guys to come in and take pictures. But I want to piggyback off something. You said something very big. A lot of people talk about this. You said it's the people around you, you know, that bring you good ideas, and that's what makes you successful. You know, yes, you're Santa, but at the end of the day, you're a businessman. And this idea that was brought to you to have a foster tree and have the gifts that these kids want, so people can bring in these gifts and pass them out. That's networking, right? But that goes many ways, right? Because it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know, we've said that on one of the podcasts. Networking is the oxygen line to your business. And so you doing good things and you having a circle of good people which give you these ideas, right? And these are good ideas, not in regards to making money in this aspect, right? But in helping people. You met somebody that loves to help people, that knows that you love to help people. And so they gave you an idea that's going to help a lot of people. And so people need to understand, in business, to make money, yeah, you need to know people. But also to make a difference in the world, right? Whether it's gifts for Christmas for kids that are in need, you know, or whatever it is, to feed the hungry. You need to be around people that have a pure heart in that matter. Because if you hang around those people, it makes you have a pure heart, which makes you want to give, you know. But if you're around those people that are like, no, I'm not going to give to that. I'm not going to give to that. I'm not going to give to that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Of course, do your research into these organizations, right? But if you hang around good people that have pure hearts, your heart's going to be pure. And it's going to make you want to give. And it's going to make you come up with ideas that's going to help more people. Because at the end of the day, we're on this earth to give back. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
You know? And so I'm very excited about this year with the foster kids. Because like I said, I don't celebrate Christmas. Everybody around me does. But I hate when I hear that kids don't get toys, on Christmas Day, because I know how big that holiday is for them. So it tears me up to hear a kid didn't get a toy. I know right now I can't help the whole world. But, I mean, if I can help just 5 families, that makes a big difference. Because if there's a guy like you that wants to help 5 families, and now there's Gio right there that wants to help 5 families, it's 15 families that we just took care of, And so that's the point of it. It's a domino effect. And that's why you need to be around people and have a pure heart and talk about these things and come up with ideas to help these people, And so it tears me up when I see this. And this Foster's tree that we have downstairs is a very big idea, because financially, yeah, these people are not coming in necessarily to give you money for your nonprofit, but they're going to pick up something off this tree, right? And of course, they take pictures with you. It's a donation-based offering that you have, which is great, and it's unbelievable to see that, right? Because everybody else wants to charge an X dollar amount,
right?
And so you have the donation-based pictures. You're giving your time so kids can come in and take pictures with Santa, and they have a great time. And we have all these sets set up. It's not just one set.
Oh, I've been doing this for a long time. I am very familiar with how Santa sets are. We have a one-of-a-kind downstairs, period. Santa's living room, 100-year-old sleigh. We have the candy cane park. And then plus you can even come over and get a selfie with Jesus.
Yep.
I mean, you don't find that any place in the world, period. And I'm just not saying that. I know that for a fact. And also it's been quite unusual to see this come all together. And every year it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Because this is our second year now here with you all and so on.
Just wait until next year.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's like, how much bigger can it get, So, and then that too, just like what's happening this weekend.
Yep. That's exactly where I was going to go next.
Okay, well, I'll let you go there.
And so
I want to go there.
Yeah, I was saving that one because like you just said, like every year is getting bigger and better. And last year, I remember when we talked about this, because you moved locations, right? And so every time you move a location in business, you have to build that customer base back up. Some people are going to follow you because of social media. And these days, social media is fantastic because you make one post and most of the people are going to see it, But still, in today's time and age, we were talking about this last week, is somehow people still can't find you because they can just post in a group, hey, where's the Santa that, and I still see these in these Facebook groups, where's the Santa that was at Hall's Feed, or where was the Santa that was at Border Martial Arts, where is he at now, So everybody now is knowing, hey, he's at Mid-South Furniture, And so this is your second year. This coming weekend, we have this big event that somebody came up with a fantastic idea.
Yes.
And my brother Mahmoud came up with this idea, and I remember when he texted me, I was thinking, like, I don't know about this. Like, that was my first thought. Like, the event is cookies for first responders, decorating cookies with Santa for first responders. And the kids are the ones decorating them, and they're going to hand them out to the first responders. And I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know about this. And then now we're talking about it. We're trying to figure out how we're going to accommodate everybody.
It's been shared like, what is it, over 150 something times?
Yeah.
And all that. It's you know what? When Mahmoud come to me and had mentioned that idea, I said, are you serious? I said, dude, that's one of the best ideas I've ever heard of. I said, as a matter of fact, I said, here I am in the same conversation, the same paragraph. I said, as a matter of fact, I could see us now going to a fireman and handing him these cookies that was decorated by children, and the main ingredient that they used was love. Yeah. If I was a fireman, that would melt my heart. Yeah. And now the word is out. The firemen know that there's going to be some cookies coming, yeah. and the policemen know as well. Yeah. So and we was talking about over 500 cookies. Well, we're probably going to have to get more than that because now it's going to be crazy come this weekend.
Yeah, it's actually, we were talking about it earlier. It's unbelievable how this idea has turned into something crazy. Yes. And this is going to be an annual thing now.
Yes.
But it's hanging around the right people, like you said earlier, and coming up with these ideas. That's what makes a business successful. That's what makes an entrepreneur successful. That's what's gonna make Santa more successful. Because now it's gonna be like we're oiling the machine at this point. Like I said, this is the second year. Imagine, let's just say just like the gym, we built this relationship, me and you, in 5 years. Now imagine 5 years from now for Santa and Mid-South Furniture. The whole city's gonna know. The whole Mid-South is gonna know, not just Collierville. And so here in a couple of years, the ideas that we've already talked about of making a real North Pole is going to come to life.
Oh, Winter Wonderland Express. Oh.
So like it's so many things that we have in the works that we're going to build up slowly, but it starts with ideas, imagination and ideas. That's what being creative can create. It can create the success that we're looking for, and it can create getting the people attracted. This cookie event Saturday is going to attract a lot of people. A whole lot of people. If anything, those 150 shares were 50,000 viewers probably seen that, in the town, in the area. They know where Santa's at now. From the furniture's perspective, they know where the Mid-South Furniture location is at now. And now Saturday, town officials and all these citizens coming in to decorate cookies, what better way to do that?
Yeah, and I think we are giving the kids a great message here, because the ones that protect us, that we need to teach the children to respect them. Yep. And I think that this is what Saturday is going to be all about. That's one thing I love about the whole thing. It's because, hey, your house catches fire, that fireman's going to come and save your life. Mm-hmm. Someone's chasing you and wanting to do harm for you, that the police officers want to go stop him to save your life. And those are the ones in which that we need to thank. And even if it's just a little cookie, to me, those cookies, they're probably going to eat them with a tear or two, knowing that where those cookies come from. Yeah. And we got the big fire truck coming too, I think, from 2 to 3 or something like that.
Really?
Maybe they'll let me get up in it and go way up.
Yeah, fire
Sorry.
truck.
But, going back to 2016, my first year here, a lot of people don't know this, but I took a big pay cut to come here. Mm-hmm. Knowing that I was supposed to work for this guy, and I just knew that God had something special going on here, and because to me, yes, it's about money, but it's not about money, and because I know I'll be taken care of. I mean, can I go ahead and talk about what's happened this year? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just blew me away. I mean, I came into town way early so we get all things set up and stuff, but I had a animal rescue event going on November the 4th. And I was talking to the lady that was running the event, and she says, well, how much are you going to charge for this, Santa? I said, well, you all are charity. I'm charity. Don't worry about it. She says, well, let me see if I can maybe find you a sponsor. Well, a couple of days go by, and I called her up. I said, you know what? I need to find me a good deal on some tires, because I've got a lot of ministry miles on those tires, and I knew I was going to be needing some. Well, all of a sudden, here I'm getting ready to take off to go get my so-called pillowcases up in Ohio that I pray over and anoint, give out to kids and stuff. And just before I was getting ready to take off, here she calls me and she says, Santa, I got some news for you. I said, what's that? She says, I told this guy about your story. And after he wiped a tear away, he says, when I come into town, he wants to bless me with a set of tires. I said, are you serious? And you know what? It's been one thing after another. Now we got this anonymous sponsor who wants to sponsor me each and every year, and so on. It's just, God has really set up a really cool thing this year. And you know what? And the God that I serve is a God that loves us all. It doesn't matter your color, your skin, your religion, or whatnot. God is there for you, period.
Amen.
And then it's up to you on the relationship that you're going to have with God and all. Because believe you me, I think that I've got a pretty good connection with God, and the boat that I'm in this year, everybody's just hopping in, and it's just keep going forward. It's been one blessing after another, and it just keeps on coming. I mean, a lot of times I look at the tree getting emptied, but yet the box not getting filled up. That's okay. It will get filled up. It will be taken care of, for sure.
Man, we both agree on it. We've said it earlier. when you give, it comes back. It may not come back to you right away. You know, some people think, hey, I'm going to give. And I was actually talking to Giovanni about this earlier this week. A lot of people sometimes will give to show other people, hey, I'm giving. You know, that's not, in my religion, is in your religion too, I'm sure, is if you're giving for attention, then you're not going to receive.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You have to give from the purity of your heart. You know, you have to give with the intention of first trying to serve people and help people. And then, this is clear as water to everybody, right? But if you're a business owner and you help people, obviously people are going to want to support you. This is something that we're not going to act like we don't know, right? But I was talking to Gio about this, and we were talking about some people and about how we're going to help people and whatnot. And your intention first should be to help people. Even if your mind wants to go like, hey, if I help this organization, I'm going to make money in this manner, right? If your mind says that, you need to rewire your mind, and you need to talk to your heart, right? You need to rewire your mind and purify your heart to see, I need to help not for the money that I'm going to get back or the attention I'm going to get back. I need to help because I truly want to help people. Because, you know, we believe you won't get the reward of helping people if the intention is not there. Your intention has to be pure to help people. And then everything else falls in line. You know, and so a lot of people watching this, you should have the purity in your heart to help people. Your intention should be to help first, you know, with no strings attached. Everything else, you know, our God is going to give that back.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that have talked about miracles and they were completely broke and they couldn't pay the bills and they couldn't do this. And we can all go down that road and talk about a hard time in life. And eventually, it may not be the next day, right? You might have to struggle for a week, a month, a year, 6 months, whatever it is. But the door opens up. One way or another, the door opens up if you're pure from your heart. So guys, give back, you know, help a lot of people. Santa, what you're doing is a big deal. It's cool to see it. And Saturday, the event, cookie with the first responders, and then the foster kids tree, you know, so guys come in, pick something off the foster kids tree and help some kids out, and then bring your kids in and take pictures with Santa, you know, and there's no fee to take pictures with Santa. It's just a generous donation that you'd like to put in, you know, and if you don't have anything to put in, Santa doesn't mind that either, you know.
No,
that's what makes it so cool about you, you know. And that's it for me, guys.
Well, that's like I gotta iterate on this one. You know, I do a lot of home visits.
Yep.
And well, some of my home visits I call them miracle visits. I can't charge for miracle visits, you know. And I got one I'm getting ready to go do. I think it's on the 19th. This little boy, I think he's about 7 now. 2.5 years ago, they told mom that he only had 2 to 3 months to go. He's still living.
Really?
He is still living. I cannot wait to get there and see this little guy and pray for him, give him one of my pillowcases and stuff, and like literally spend some time there. I mean, I might say, well, what's on TV? You know, let's watch some movies or something, because you know that's what it's all about. I mean, you might not be able to take and reach in your pocket and pull out monies, but you can take your hands and say, what do you want me to do? What do you need help with? Because, no, you're right. There's no way that I could ever take care of a bunch of people, but God can send people my way to help me take care of a bunch of people. And that's what's happened here.
Yep.
That's what's happened here with you, me, Giovanni, all of us. Yep. You know, we are coming together as a team, man. Mm-hmm. And this team is team of different religions. Yep. But there's one thing that we have in common, and that's our love, our heart that we have for our fellow brothers and sisters, period. You know, that's just how it goes. I wish people could hop into my mind just for a short bit. I mean, just for 30 seconds to see some of the things that I have seen. And then you might have a little bit of where I'm coming from on the feeling that it gives you. Because sometimes the feeling's not a great feeling, because, you know, going and seeing a child that's, getting ready to take their last breath. That's a hard one to do. But God's appointed me to do stuff like that, and so I can't argue with the big man.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you invite me here to share a little bit of this, and I'm sure in years to come we may be sitting down talking about our Wonderland Express out here or something like that.
We are.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's very powerful, Santa. What you said there as a team coming together, that's how you come and help people, right? Because like you said, I probably can't help anybody. Alone. But if I get people together, then we can come together and help more people.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the goal, and that's why I wanted you on here. I wanted you on here because you're my friend, and we've known each other, and we've come a long way the last 5 years. But I wanted to talk about the helping, but because this is a season, right? This is the giving season. Everybody says.
Yes, it is.
And so, guys, come together, even if it's helping one foster child out, you know, even if it's, giving $5. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. $5 from me, $5 from you. Eventually that adds up to give a family something. And that's what life is about. This is what we're here for. That's my belief, is to help and give back to people. And so I hope you take something from that, guys, and come see us. Foster Trees up until what day?
I think we're going to shoot for about the 18th, because then that'll give us plenty enough time to get the gifts to the children.
Okay, so the Foster Trees up until the 18th. Santa's here until the day before Christmas Eve, full time, and then a couple hours Christmas Eve in the morning. So just shoot us a message. We'll get you in here. Guys, Santa, thank you for coming from the North Pole.
Oh, I appreciate y'all.
Our viewers going to love seeing Santa on the podcast.
100%. Guys, Santa just showed me his naughty list, and
Hold on. Santa.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't forget about that. So before we let Santa go, let's look up some names.
Yeah.
Can you look up for me?
Yeah, touch this. Let's look you up.
Oh, man.
All right, let's see what's going on.
So he's looking me up. Let's see what happens.
Did you make your bed this morning?
Come on, why you gotta blast me on the podcast?
Well, you told me to open up the book, didn't you? Did you make your bed this morning?
I did not.
Okay, well, you need to get that bed. Other than that, you're on the good list.
I'm on a good list?
You're on that very good list.
All right.
Hey, buddy, we need to have a talk here later
oh
on.
my God.
So could you look up a couple names for me?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So let's look up Josh Schultz.
Oh, yes, Josh. Oh, I seen some very good stuff there on Josh. Uh-huh.
I see a light coming from the book.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got something.
That's crazy.
Josh is on the good list.
He's on a good list?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. What about who else?
Hey, can you check Ben? Is he on the good list?
Ben Wynn.
Oh, it's red.
Oh, boy. It literally turned red.
I literally need to have a talk with
It literally turned red.
Yeah. Need to have a talk with Ben.
Oh, man. Who else? Let's give him 3 more names.
What about the people that aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, that aren't following us on Instagram? Are they on the good list?
Oh, that's blue. That's not good. No.
That's not good. Guys, you better follow, subscribe, and share to get onto the good list.
Yes, we need to get you on here. Okay. Yeah.
What about Jonathan Border?
Green.
Oh, okay.
He's definitely on the good list.
I don't know about that. I think the list is broken.
But I do have to say something. The other day, I noticed, I've been coming over doing the mornings with y'all. And it was kind of interesting. As soon as we got done,
Oh, boy.
you went running off the mat and came back without your gi on. I was ready to have some fun on the mat, but no takes all.
So, guys, a few years ago, Santa comes to town, and he throws me in front of my whole class. Okay. The secret is that he doesn't know I let him do it because I didn't want to get on the naughty list. But the truth is, and I'm going to have to shut the podcast down right after I say this, but Santa Claus don't want the business.
I might have to run out here before the podcast is over.
So I'm going to shut the camera off and have a talk with Santa.
Okay, let's see. Let's read this again.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, episode 8 with Santa Claus. Thank you guys again. Like always, I really appreciate the support. We're starting off. This is a new podcast, so you guys sharing, commenting, liking, and subscribing helps us out a lot. Okay, so please keep helping us out, and I will see you on the next episode of Sharpen Your Sword. Stay sharp, guys.